Do you think it's fair that one group of people is paid to do something while another group of people who are doing the exact same thing but are just slightly less talented aren't paid anything? Well, that is the question today in college athletics. Division 3 athletes are not allowed to receive athletic scholarships where Division 1 and Division 2 athletes are. So that brings us to this question. Should Division 3 athletes be allowed to receive scholarships when Division 1 and Division 2 athletes are? Well, that leads us to 3 points. First, what is the reason Division 3 athletes aren't given scholarships? Second, is it fair that they are? And third, what would the effects be on the schools if Division 3 athletes were allowed to receive scholarships? Well, the first reason for the no scholarships, according to P. Coleman and D. Kissinger, are that most Division 3 schools just do not have enough money to offer. They have very few students compared to some of the Division 1 and Division 2 colleges, and in that case, aren't able to receive the amount of donations that these other schools are. So therefore, they have to cut costs in some way, and one of those discretionary costs is athletic scholarships. Another reason, according to Jay Lunt, is that people often view Division III athletics as more fun rather than a full-time job, such as a Division I basketball player. When in all actuality, a Division III basketball player only plays about 6 weeks less than a Division I player. So, when you look at that, it almost doesn't seem fair. Another reason people often associate Division III athletics as fun rather than a job is because of the level of training. They often think that it's Division III, so they're not getting as much attention or as much good coaching or instruction as a Division I athlete, when in actuality, it's about the same. The facilities might not be as nice, the space might not be as big, but the level of training is just the same. So, this brings us to our second question. Is this fair? From these points we pointed out, it seems that it is not fair. And according to Jay Swigard, is this fair in a traditional sense? The answer would be no, from the points we pointed out earlier. It's not fair to give some players money and other players not, simply because of the level they are playing at. So, is this fair athletically? Do you think, in my question earlier, should somebody receive money just because they are a little bit more talented than the other person? It's almost like discrimination in a way. So in that sense, it's not fair either. So, when you come to the pros and cons of whether or not to pay Division III college athletes and that effect on the school, it comes to these. A con would be, it would be a lot of money for schools to dish out, and they may have to cut other places, but on the upside, if they are able to offer athletic scholarships, it might get more people into the schools, and in that case would be able to up the amount of donors they have later in life, which could make up for that discretion. A con is that, well, Division I and some Division II schools have TV deals to get revenue. Division III schools do not. So that might make another cut and make it a little bit harder to give Division III athletes scholarships, but there are other ways to make up for it. The pro would be if they were allowed to offer scholarships, Division III schools might get more athletes. And what we said before, that could lead to more donations and donors in the later on. And that could also increase the popularity of those schools. When athletic teams are doing well, that creates a draw to those schools, and therefore they might receive more ads in different places, more popularity, more students, more donors, more businesses willing to support them to get their name out there because people are seeing it. So, in my opinion, what we've come to is that I think Division III athletes should receive money. First of all, they played almost just as much time, they put in just as much effort. The training facilities may not be as nice, but the level of coaching and everything still is. They don't get as much popularity or as much airtime as the other schools, but that doesn't mean they don't deserve the money, and it doesn't mean they don't work as hard. Also, whether we like it or not, sports legitimize schools, whether it be Wisconsin's football team, Iowa's basketball team, or any of the other schools. They're based oftentimes on their athletic programs, and those athletic programs are a huge draw to students. So if Division III schools have high level of competition and high level sports teams, that can create a draw to a prospective student who would want to come there and tell his friends about it. So in that way, you would get more students, you would get more revenue, and you get more popularity. And in this case, it benefits not only the school, but the athletes, as well as the other students, the faculty, and as well as the reputation of the school. So in all honesty, yes, it may cost more money, but overall, the effects are much greater than the drawbacks or any of the other problems that may arise, because money, in all honesty, in our society today, solves everything. And a good standing athletic program brings in a high amount of revenue. Higher amount of revenue means the school can do more things, and when the school does more things, it makes people happy. Thank you.